Okay, that's more like it. That's what I needed. We're on now, right? Yeah, okay. So, I'm up here. Well, I was over here. Got tea here. Headphones, glasses, chat. Give the girl time to get her tea. You guys know me a little bit too well. That was exactly what was going on there. I got some chai tea today. We're officially flu season. I don't think I have the flu, but I'm definitely I've got something. So if I'm a little off, or if I have to leave early, then that's why. I should be fine. I will need to take a short break in the middle of the stream at some point. Maybe, we'll see. Some people need to come by the apartment, so I'm gonna need to, and there's like no way to reschedule it. It's gotta be today, so I'll probably just mute the mic and let you guys hang out with Flutta for a few minutes whenever that happens to be. You can see he's there on the pet cam. I would have had it on like the cat or the dog, but they're going to get up the second somebody comes in the apartment. So this works out a little better. All right, I was going to say I can see, but I could see before. These are just for, these are just tinted. They're not vision at all. I actually see pretty good. It's nice. I've seen people with doing the contact lens thing, and I'm sure you get used to it, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, like a good thing that you like doing. Alright, watching today while wearing my Squirrel Squad shirt. Nice, nice. I added a channel in the Discord. Oh. How loud is that music? Is the music too loud? You guys gotta let me know if the sound's ever out of whack. I don't otherwise know. I added a channel in the Discord for posting merch pics if anybody wants to. You certainly don't have to. But if you want to post merch pics or see pics of other people that are not me in the merch, then that is up now. I think I didn't, like, painstakingly go through the permissions, so hopefully it's okay. Maybe my Discord mods can help me out with that in case I broke anything. I probably did. So today's stream, it is Pet Battle Bonus Double Experience. We can level Captain Crackers twice as fast, and hopefully by the time we've leveled up Captain Crackers, we have a few more pets to level. So, I'm gonna catch up with chat a little bit. I'm probably not going to go as fast today as I normally do, but it's going to be good to sit down and hang out with you guys. It'll be fun. Collect a Tinder pup and name it Butters. I feel like that is a reference to something that I'm missing. The same something I caught. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, isn't it? It's the weekend soon. That'll be nice, you know. You know what I really like about weekends, even if I decide to make videos sometimes. Which sometimes I do. It's usually alright. But, no matter what I'm doing on a weekend day, if I have the opportunity and I want to, I never deny myself a Saturday afternoon nap. And most Sunday ones, honestly. Like, if I can, if there is a bed or a couch and I socially can take a nap and I feel like I could, I'm going to. I never say no. Like, on weekdays, I'll be like, no, I shouldn't nap. I'm gonna stay awake and live my life and be an adult. But if it's a weekend, it's happening. And I can already, like, even though I'm going to have a full night's sleep before it's even Saturday afternoon, I'm already looking forward to the Saturday afternoon nap. So, what I'm doing right now, attempting to do, is identify which wild battle pets. Actually, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up the Safari achievement. So, pet battles, collect, and look for the Battle Safari. Oh boy, we've only gotten 6. I thought we'd done better than 6. The reason we're going so slowly on this is because, or one of the reasons is because, this is a little too high up. Although while it's pointing high up, I can actually show you something else. I finally put up the Creator Award way up the top by the BfA poster. It's like a tiny bit crooked, but I don't want to do it again, so I'm not gonna. It's close enough. That's it there. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the reason we're going so slowly on that is because I'm gonna like go look on a beach. I'm just gonna run around along the Drustvar beaches and see if we can find any crabs or something. I've been holding out for rares because that seems like a nice thing to do on stream. We can talk to the fish while you go away. How to level up gear if you don't have friends or guild. You can, there's quite a bit of content that you can do. Right now I would recommend Warfronts. So if you're on Alliance, you can queue for the Warfront, and every time you do it, you'll get at least one piece of 340 gear. And that's a good place to start. I haven't received my shirt, so I'm jealous. I don't think anybody's going to have the 100k shirts yet. That campaign just ended, so those will be printing still. Squirrel Squad ones are shipping out depending on where you are and when you ordered them. I ordered myself a second Squirrel Squad shirt, actually. I already had the light blue one from back when I got samples, but I decided I want another color. And I don't have that one yet either. Actually, I think I also ordered the mug, and I think that's getting here next week. Thanks for a suggestion about Azure power rates, Azure tooltips. If you still need to source the weights, check out Blood Mallet. I have actually been to Blood Mallet. A lot of people brought that up on the last stream chat, and I went and looked at it, and it was pretty good. And the thing I was talking about a lot was, you know, weights are great, but like I want to know who made them. And then I found, I don't know if the weights are specifically from the Warcraft priest people, but that is who Blood Mallet recommends as their priest resource, and for whatever reason that kind of restored my faith a bit. So, oh, you know what else I want to show you? This is not the most coherent or cohesive stream, but that's why this is just me. You know, if it was a podcast with other people, they'd be like, Hazel, you're off topic, but there's nobody here, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I wanted to show you the archaeology toys. So I now have both of the toys from BfA Archaeology. There's one from Zandalar, and there's one from Kul Tiran. So the Zandalar one, just in case you haven't seen it yet, is the Croak Rock. It's on a 10-minute cooldown, both of them are. Let me take off my shadow form here, and basically, you summon a bunch of toads. They're all listed as your guardian. They don't really do much, they just kind of hop around. They don't really follow you. They're croaking toads. I love that one. I don't know why. I've been using it like almost every 10 minutes. It's not even on the bar. Like I open it up in my journal and I type in croak to like find it, and then I'll use it. I use that a bunch in raid. And then the other one is called Dance of the Drust, and that thing, Dance of the Dead. Pardon me. It's from Drustvar, but it's Drust themed, but it's the Dance of the Dead. And that one you actually place in the ground, same cooldown. And that summons this little witchy lady, and she's, you know, it says that she's dancing. I guess it's a dance. It's a hard dance to do if you're not a witch, because she's really kind of floating. She's sort of swimming. I bet you could do that if you are a swim dancer, like a synchronized swimmer. You could probably do something like that. Oh, you would actually have the hair floating up too. That would be, there's a good idea that, not that great of an idea. Oh, there's Siren Sting. Siren Sting is second only, Siren Sting and the Kunduz Bite are kind of like the runners-up. They're not anchor weed, but they are worth more than most of the rest of the herbs. So I will try and go out of my way to grab that. Whew. I have one of those days where I just feel a little bit out of breath. And you would think that would happen to me more often because I never shut up. But it's taking a second. Okay. Tips for BfA rep grinds. Right now, do world quests. I think that's it. Well, no, do world quests and make sure that you've done all the regular quests. So things like the, what do you call those? Bounty boards, where it's like, go kill this dude. You'll need 3 people, but at 110 you don't really, or 120 you don't really need 3 people. You can just kind of go kill it. And do those, do the regular quests, do your world quests. That's it for now. There's going to be more sources added in 8.1. They've data mined some reputation commendations. Am I even tracking pets? What's going on here? I am. Okay, that's good. We're looking for some crabs. So there will be more presumably later. But for now, just do your world quests. Can't even hear the music. All right, I'll turn it up a little bit then. I never know. Anyone lose a stream? Did my YouTube break? Oh no. I think I'm still alive. If it dropped, actually I don't even have any drop frames. It must be a YouTube thing. No buffering, nothing for me. Do you want to be my girlfriend? I'm actually married. Don't forget the rep contracts. Oh, yes, you're right. I totally forgot. So you can get rep contracts. Those last for a week, and they grant you an extra 10 rep with your contracted rep of choice with, every world quest that you complete. So 10 is not a big deal. Like, you do 7 world quests, and you've basically gotten a bonus of 1, but it does help when you're just trying to catch up with one. I've gotten my reps right now to a point where I'm revered with everybody, which is what I needed for Pathfinder, so I did finish my Pathfinder. I was excited about that. And now, like, the next thing that I actually need to unlock something is finishing this, which I'm pretty close to. I already did the Emissary. I think it was today or yesterday, so that one's sorted out now. I can't do that yet, but, or I can't do it again, because it's not up because I did it. I'm having a day. But yeah, I don't really need everything in Exalted. Like, I don't need it'll happen eventually, obviously, just from World Quest, but I have, I don't need the gear from it. You know, the tabards, I'm not really a tabard person. The pets are actually mostly revered. Right now, actually, I'm not seeing any crabs, oddly enough. I came out here to try and find pets, and I'm getting none. I probably should have looked at a map of where they spawn, but that sounded like more effort than I was willing to put in. I'm saving up my pet charms. I'm at 348. It'll hopefully go a lot faster once I'm farming on 2 characters. I'm still really nowhere close to having my druid finished. She's still at 114, but at least she's restocking up unarrested. That's something. But yeah, I've decided that the next thing that I get with my charms should definitely be the pocket portal to expand my cap to 1500 up from 1000. I'm not like super brushing up against that. I'm sitting at like 940 unique pets, 945 total. So I'm not about to get capped, but I would just like it out of the way. It's like the expensive thing that's kind of boring, but you still want to get. So I would rather just get that and be done with it, and then I can spend all my charms and all the cool pets and stuff. Where do you find anchorweed? So anchorweed has a chance to spawn in place of most herbs. It will not replace Siren Sting or Star Moss. So you're going to find it mostly like by rivers or up in mountains where Winter's Kiss would spawn, or on beaches where you would normally find sea stalks. It's a pretty low chance. You don't see a whole lot of it. I am starting to believe that I am a little bit lucky because I get one almost. I get like 1 or 2 almost every time I go do world quests. And then I was picking herbs with my buddy, and I can't get under that rock. I was picking herbs with my buddy, and we found like, I feel like an above average amount because I was there. So I have the luck. I have the anchorweed magnetism. Stream looks fine to me thus far. Hi Hazel, how was your week? My week was challenging. It wasn't bad. Nothing super terrible happened. I was just really struggling this week. I'm gonna fix this a little bit. We don't need to be there we go. A little less ceiling. No, too far. I was struggling a little bit with that TSM guide that I finally put out in the middle of the night last night, because I talked about this in the last stream a little bit, but I wasn't happy with it, and then I wasn't happy with it, and I started over again, and I was frustrated that I didn't have it out yet, and I just wanted it done. And then yesterday, I finally got on a good roll, and I was happy with where all of the stuff was, and I was happy with how I was going to explain things, and I was happy with my overall roadmap to make sure that I hit all of the points that I want to in the whole series. And I finally get it going, and I've got like 2 hours to edit before raid, and that's like, I had already started, so that sounded almost realistic. Like, I figured if I really chugged some tea and went in, I could get it done before raid night. And I just had the worst time with Premiere. It doesn't happen to me very often, but it does happen occasionally where there's just a weird issue with Adobe Premiere that it just hates you for some reason. And normally I can fix that by importing all my media into a new project. For whatever reason, that workaround didn't work for me. I eventually found one that did, but for like the 2 hours before raid I just spent trying to edit, and every time I would add a piece of media, I would have to reload the timeline. Every single time. And you know, it was the end of the day, and I was a little bit, I had a little bit of whatever it is that I had now, and I had like raid coming up, and I was trying to get dinner on the table, or, well, not on the table, on 2 plates where we could eat it while we raid. And I didn't get it done in time, and then we do the whole raid night, so 3 hours of raiding, and then I'm editing it again, trying to finish it. Where was I going with this? I feel like there was a moral to the story that was not just, oh, anchorweed! That was not just me complaining. Alright, I feel better. Oh, only a 3-4, but that's okay. That's alright. So, yeah. But now that that's done, I feel a lot better, because I figured out a workaround for even that dumb problem. Apparently when you reset your workspaces to a saved layout, that fixes it even though it's not related. And I'm happy now with where I'm going with the TSM guide, so I've worked through that. Took a while, but I got there. And I'm excited about the weekend because I get to take a nap. And also, you know what was really good this week? You know what I really enjoyed was I got that new fishy. We talked a little bit about it last stream. I show him on the vlog a little bit. I got my Bolivian ram. I did decide to name him Neff. I enjoyed your guys's... I was thinking about Neff and Nelf, and then you guys wanted Neff, and I was thinking about it more. I was like, you know what? They're right. They're just right. So I haven't seen a single battle pet. I swear I'm tracking them. It says so right here. It says it. Where are all the crabs at? I haven't had any of this tea yet. I'm gonna drink some tea. What's your cat's name? My cat's name is Kira. Hey Norma, how are things? Hey Norma! I already created a Void Elf Priest, but I'm thinking of going Night Elf Druid. Heck! Why not both? Didn't you get the pet portal by doing Legion Pet World quests? It was a reward for doing 30 unique pets. There's another one. I believe the first one raised the collection from like 700 or 800 to 1,000 or so. This next one raises your cap to 1,500. It's just a new one. I believe it's 1,000 charms, I think. of the new charms. Anchorweed, the ethereal mistress, everywhere but nowhere. How you vex me. It does seem more prone than many herbs to the, like, despawning right before you get there. Although I believe that's just because it's so highly in demand that somebody probably saw it before you, and you only have, I think, a minute or so to get it, like, before it despawns after the first person picks it. I love my Disc Priest. Can't wait to start leveling my monk as a healer. I know I want a Mistweaver alt, and I don't think that I want to use my current Dwarf Monk. I want, like, to make a new alt that's a Mistweaver, and I can't for the life of me settle on a race. I think I want to look and see how Kul Tirans look in monk armor and doing monk things. I don't know if I'll like that, but I don't really know what I like as a monk. And once I get my Dark Iron Dwarves, you know what I want to make? Because I decided I think I want to make a Dark Iron Dwarf Warlock. I think that'll look really cool. Plus, I could use another Warlock. My current Warlock is a human, and I don't want to race change it because I've, you know, I'm just spent $10 in a parrot. I'm good now. But I don't want to race change it, but I would like to spend a little bit more time with Warlock, just because every now and then I get the urge. I'm like, wow, you know, whenever Shadow Priest isn't doing great, you know, Warlocks are kind of like Shadow Priests, except that they're better in most ways. And I always come back because Warlock's not where my heart's at. It's all about the void, but such a good TSM guide, though. Thank you. Will your monk be in... Oh, you're not talking to me. A funeral on a Monday. Oh. Do you have a spine claw crab? And if you do, can I have it? JK, but that pet's a monster to try and farm, and the H is just ridic. Yeah. The timeless style stuff, I feel like that's a really good place to actually make gold. Like, it feels weird going back to old content and spending significant time there to try and earn gold, but assuming that you can move the pets and actually sell them, pretty much everything that drops there has a massively inflated value relative to what they used to be worth. Which makes sense, because nobody's out there anymore, and they're still pretty good pets on the whole. But you could now, maybe I'll do that actually on my farming alt sometime. You could now get, I feel like, at least more chances at the pets, because you're gonna find the response up more easily. The moral to all stories is Anchorweed. Anchorweed is the real MVP of BfA so far. It's been a while since we had a rare herb, and this is the first time they've really done one, in my memory, that was really highly demanded. Like, obviously we had golden lotuses, and there was, like, winter lotus and whatever. Like, we used to have the lotus thing, but fell lotuses, but I don't think that they were as needed. Maybe they were. I don't remember. What do you use to record your screening gameplay? OBS. It's completely free. It's the same thing that I stream from, and it's great. I used to use, like, back in years past, I used different programs, including DxTory and Fraps, but both of them were frankly not as good as OBS, and they're also not free like OBS is, so there's really no reason to buy something. How is your Bolivian ram doing? I am so proud of him. He's doing so good. So after the first day, he was eating, and he was looking fine, but he was still looking really washed out. Like 24 hours had gone by, and he didn't really have much more color than he had when we brought him home. And he had some color. He had a good color in the store, so I knew he had it in him. So I decided that I wanted to put some sand down in the quarantine for him, and then also a piece of driftwood that I had. So once I got that all in, I have him on black sand now. He colored right up. He spends all day just, like, moseying around, taking up mouthfuls of sand and spitting it out like they do. He seems pretty happy. He's still pretty skittish. I don't get the impression that he's happy being in a tank by himself. I'm looking forward to the end of his quarantine period so that I can move him into the 20 and have him settle in with the other fish and not be so alone. Alright, I'm finding lots of herbs. I'm not doing so good with the pets. I need to go to a different zone, or I need to, like... Am I not? Show pets. There's just no pets on this coast. There's... What's going on here? I can't mouse over this thing. It won't tell me. Anyways, I'm gonna go... There's pets... I know there's pets actually by Falconhurst. I know that. I've seen them. So, we'll grab the Siren Stings. Is your cat named after Death Note? If so, did you hear that Netflix is making a sequel? She is named after Death Note. I actually didn't watch the Netflix live action. I used to have DVDs of the Japanese live action that I like bought bootlegs off eBay, and I didn't know they weren't gonna have subtitles. It was years ago. I never watched the Netflix one. My husband did. I don't think he was impressed. I don't really remember. And then I didn't hear that they were making a sequel. But yeah, she was named vaguely after death, though. I'm probably less of a fan. I used to be more into anime than I am now. I've kind of fallen off the anime train. I don't hate it or anything. I just don't really... it's not as much a part of my day. Have you tried Pally healing yet? No, never, actually. Pally is the one and only spec that I've really never done, and the reason for that is incredibly dumb. I don't like healing in plate. That feels weird, and I don't want to do it. Even if I can get a plate skirt, I don't care. It's weird, and I don't want to do it. So I've just completely ruled out an entire spec. If I'm playing a paladin, I am almost always tanking. Do you have any favorite subreddits about fish? So I am currently on a new clean streak of Reddit. Every now and then I try and quit Reddit because I am especially prone to internet addiction, and that site just, I can't even handle it. But when I was on Reddit and learning about fish, I would go on aquariums, r/aquariums. That one's all right. Good for like cute pictures and video. And then r/Betta fish had some good info. I will say that sometimes I've seen some information thrown around that doesn't match up with what I know, and I've seen information that contradicts other information that you find there. So I wouldn't ever use it as like a single source of data, but it's a good place to kind of learn about what people are doing and see what's working for other people, which I feel like is usually the best way to do it. The week was the first time you tried the Pet Battle Weekly. You made an all fire damage team, won 5 of 8 fights. Oh, so you're just like countering people that were running mechs? That's kind of cool. That works out. 8 of 8 normal in the raid, and my Shadow Priest, thanks to your guides. Thank you so much for my guild on Storm Rage. Nice! Fellow Shadow Priest brethren. Feels very good. I haven't been excelling in raid. I haven't been doing poorly, though, either. I feel like I've been fairly middle of the pack. But you know, actually, where Shadow has been really, really good in my observation, and maybe I'm wrong, but Island Expeditions. The format of Island Expeditions, where you've got a little bit of time to build up in big packs of stuff, but for the most part, it's all about just bursting down an AoE. What you do is you take, or what I do, is I take Dark Void, I take Shadow Crash, and then I grab Dark Ascension. I always use the Dark Ascension as a double bomb on like the biggest pack of mobs, so I make sure that I have a regular Void Eruption. I use that. Immediately press Dark Ascension to Void Eruption again. And before those things, you probably use your Dark Void and your Shadow Crash already. And all of that, like, you can do that every minute. And then the Shadow Crash and Void can be done twice a minute, so it all kind of like lines up. Not many people out DPS me. It's happened, but not like, if I get my chance to actually do my thing, which is fairly often, not too many people out DPS me. But I was really disappointed because they said that they were hot fixing the drop rates of stuff from Island Expeditions. And I was like, yes, I'll have a better chance to get my pets and mounts and stuff. That's great. And then I saw a tweet from, I think it was Krender, and he was like on a mount with a pet and like a toy or something. I don't remember the exact tweet, but he was like decked out in the stuff, and he was like, guys, Island Expeditions are good now. And I figured, man, they really hotfixed it. It's way better. And maybe I'm just really unlucky, or maybe he's just really lucky, or maybe I've missed something, but I ran like 10, 12, and I got one thing. And it was a pair of plate transmog gloves. Although I did sell them for 10k. I was alright with that. Came back to WoW a couple days before BfA. Came back to watching a stream today. How are you doing? Hello! I am doing pretty well. I am really enjoying getting to sit down and talk to you guys. This is, I feel like, a very therapeutic format. Because, you guys are so sweet, and we all have a lot in common with WoW. We can just kind of talk about the game and what's been going on. And, in a stream format, it's very easy to feel very listened to because, like sometimes you'll be talking to other people, and especially online where there's lag, conversation can be a little bit tough and people can end up interrupting other people. But in a stream, nobody's ever going to interrupt me, and I can just go on forever and ever and ever, which is probably not socially healthy for me, but it's nice to do every Friday. Found Anchorweed and Voldoon. Bleach live action movie. I got a Betta for my 20 gallon, was wondering what filter should I use, sponge or power filter. I prefer sponge filters for Betta because they don't, Bettas aren't terribly messy fish, so you don't really need water flow to be picking up waste, and they really tend to not like strong flow in their tanks, or like, they don't like most flow in their tanks because, their fins are so big and ornamental and heavy that if they're getting blown around, they get kind of stressed out. So a sponge filter is both going to help you aerate the water. They're just my favorite anyways because they're already, because they're, you know, they're efficient and they're cheap and they don't really need replacing and they're very easy to service. You just kind of squeeze it out in some tank water whenever you're, you know, every now and then. Really good for maintaining a cycle. And it's not going to blow your fish around. So I always say sponge filter. Now for a 20 gallon, that's quite a bit of space. That is a huge tank for a Betta. It's like, he'll have a great time. He's going to be good. But I would almost consider running, I don't know if you need to. I don't know, you might end up with dead spots if you try to only run a sponge filter in a 20. I've never been there. No war mode? Absolutely not, no. I'm still trying to get, I figure I'm just gonna run on my mount to get over to this area to see what the, oh no, I was gonna ride at Falconhurst. To see if there's any pets, because I figure I'm looking for pets. I may as well not fly places, because if I see something on the way, then I can fight it. And I also recently have gotten into this habit of not flying places. Like I try to avoid using my whistle, and I try to avoid using my Hearthstone, and I try to avoid using flight paths. Because whenever I just get on my mecha strider golem thing and I walk somewhere, I always find herbs and I make gold. And whenever I find an anchor read, I'm like, you know what? It was a good thing that I walked. So I feel like my WoW character is getting real, well, she's not getting fit. She's riding in her goblin car. But where did all those herbs go? I just saw a whole bunch of them. I've been baited. They're all gone. Do you have a solid all-around team for Pet Battle Weekly? No. Talk to Hero if you can find him. Haruma Red X. He's got a YouTube channel. He's great for that kind of stuff. I bet you he has an answer like already in his head. If you have a tank with sand, you get a half-banded spiny eel. They love to burrow in the sand. You know that wow, I'm stuttering. I've never heard of that. I have never in my life heard of that. I will have to Google it. They sound cool. I always like when I get to see eels in the fish store because they're just so cool. But typically, almost all the eels that I know require pretty big tanks, which is why I haven't really ever thought about getting one, is because some of them can be aggressive. Like some freshwater eels can be pretty mean, so you gotta be careful who you put in a tank with them. And then a lot of them get pretty big. Like actual eels, not like loaches or something like that. Although those are cute noodles too. I've got a toy and a staff transmog so far. You level doing island expeditions? Oh, how fast was that? You said you 118 to 120. How many did it take you? Do you know? The drop rate gone way up. Don't let RNG defeat you. You're not dedicated to reps. Level and ult through islands. That is a good idea. Because I'm not dedicated to reps. I don't need reps in my ults for anything, especially once 8.1 comes through and the Champions of Azeroth neck upgrade will be account unlocked with the rep. Yeah, I don't need reps in my ult, so I could totally do it. All right, so I made it through to Aram Stand finally. Serving hair today, looking great. Love the color. Thank you. It's still looking pretty bright. It's been a good week or so, and it still looks about the same. It's been growing on me. I'm throwing things. Sorry. Yeah, I hated it at first. It was just so different. Like, change is hard, but it's definitely grown on me last week. Hello there, I'm half orc, half human. Sap dude, boy, orc, boy. You know, it's good that you're so comfortable with your identity that is embedded in your name, because otherwise you would have some troubles. I wanted the shirt you're wearing, but the small and the medium are sold out. Did they? I got mine really early, so I might have gotten lucky there. I've gotten to a point where I know so thoroughly the hold that Blizzard has over my wallet that if they put something on the store that looks like I want, I'll probably just get it. Because, you know, in all the situations where I wanted to but I didn't, usually what happened was either I got it eventually later anyways for the same price, so I just waited, or I didn't get it and then it wasn't available anymore and then I was sad, so now I just usually just grab stuff. Drop rate higher if you do it on Mythic? That I don't know. I've started to do most of mine on Heroic because... Do I need a River Otter? Probably. Let's actually get our collecting team together here. So I'm going to go ahead and put on my hat. I'm going to grab my Cap and Crackers because he's going to need to get some experience. Grumpy is for pet collecting if we find one we actually want to keep, and then the Nexus Whelpling is just for like cleaning stuff up. So let's go ahead and grab that. And let's see, we're looking specifically for rare pets, so if there's no rare pets here, we're just gonna try to finish the fight. Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh, we got it actually. If there's no rare pets, then we'll just try and finish the fight. So I am hoping to not die. Oh, good. Perfect. Alright, so I don't take any damage. I can switch out now. And that'll get some experience. YouTube channel for pet battle info. Hirima Red X. Now, that's not his pet channel. I think he has one, but it will be linked. If he has a pet channel still, it'll be linked on his regular channel. I have a collaboration I filmed with him, like, last year about pet PvP that I'm gonna put out one day. Did you see the new mount that will be coming to the shop? Which one? You mean the pirate ship, or did they announce another one? Was there a data mine one? There's been a lot of models just being kind of thrown around on like MMO Champion Wowhead in the last day or so. Oh no. Oh, he's switching me out. Because of the patch data mining going on, so it's tough to tell at a quick glance what's new and what's not. I did get the Dreadwake from the 6-month bundle. I just got that. I figured why not. You'll be surprised at what you find and re-find. Oh, doing a new race class combo. Glad to be here. Feels like I'm talking to a celebrity. Oh, I'm a strange sort of celebrity. I feel like when I imagine celebrities in my head, and I'm thinking about, you know, like the typical people, like music stars and musicians. Music stars and musicians? Musicians and movie stars and actors and the like. Actors and movie stars. I'm having a day. I always imagine them as being like almost neurotically hardworking. Like, I assume in order to get as good as they have gotten at what they do and, you know, make all the connections and like all of the things that go into being that famous, assuming people that are famous for a skill, I always think of them as just kind of like a little bit superhuman. Like, they just must do so much in a day. And I think part of it was that I think there was like a Ryan Reynolds schedule that went trending on Twitter or something, and the dude, I know it was just like a challenge to get hyper fit for a movie or something, but he was getting up real early, and they're going in cryo chambers and they're freezing themselves, and I feel like if you're gonna be really a celebrity, you gotta be doing the self-freezing thing, and I want no part of that. I like to be warm. Yeah, the pirate ship is out already. If this is what you're talking about, then we got this. But there may be something else that I've missed, because I often miss things. That is generally my life. This is a good bout, though. Hi, Hazel. Hey, Fallen to me. How are you doing? I don't know how many pets you can get from islands, which are not cageable. As far as I know, they're all cageable, and as far as I know, there were 28 of them. That was the last number I remember. I think there were 28 of them, and they were all cageable, I think. Not 100%. I bought the Frenzied Cottontail today for 300 tokens. Cute little killer bunny. Oh yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, it wasn't Ryan Reynolds. I don't really know. I'm not good at the things. You should never meet your stars. I always hear that you should never meet your heroes, and I think I take that to a step a little higher than that, in that I almost don't want to. Not because I think they're going to fail my expectations, but just because I have nothing that I can say that would bring any value to their experience, and I would rather just leave them alone and let them do what they do. I enjoy appreciating the work in like the most, like, I am just so mortally terrified of annoying people that I wouldn't actually want to meet them, because what if they had somewhere else to be? It's not rational. Like, it's a bizarre thing. Drustvar music is 10 out of 10. It's such a beautifully spooky zone. I think they did a great job of making a zone that's spooky without just going like Ghostlands with it, you know? Like, Ghostlands is campy spooky. It's over the top. There are actual ghosts everywhere. You know, they've gone out of their way to be like, this is where all these people lived. They're super dead now. Did you know that they died? And sometimes when they're dead, they get mad. You know, it's like very in your face. But here, there's plenty of spooky stuff, and there are ghosts and Drust and witches and whatnot. But it's all kind of in a sort of in plain sight kind of way. Like, you have witches disguised as people, and you have actual places that still look like nice places to be and go, and it seems like people do live here. Because with a place like the Ghostlands, like, everybody left, you know? It's not scary because you just don't go. You know, it's one of those horror movie sets where it's like, well, this doesn't frighten me because I wouldn't stay, you know? That would be the end of it. But this is a little more scary in the way that, like, you know, in Stranger Things, that town was, you know, obviously very spooky and a lot of stuff going on in it, but not in a way that, like, you would imagine everybody leaving. You know, I suppose you could, but generally speaking, it still seems like a place people want to live. I don't know where I'm going with this. I think what I'm saying is Drustvar is spooky, but I would still rather live here. Will BlizzCon tell us at BlizzCon? Will Blizzard tell us at BlizzCon how many turtles made it to the water? I mean, I feel like that might, you know what we might get that is I feel like they, every now and then they release infographics, usually around the anniversaries. So, probably not the upcoming WoW anniversary, but the next one when we've had a full WoW year, you know, in terms of WoW anniversaries of BfA. That would be a good point for them to throw that statistic onto an infographic for us. So I guess if I run south a little bit, you know, we want to try and get south to Falconers, because I know for a fact there's crabs out there, and whenever we can find one type of pet, there's going to be others available kind of as backline pets, so as long as we can find something to start farming. We did get Cap'n Crackers all the way from level 1 to level 8, like the Safari Hat combined with... Where'd my Safari Hat go? The Safari Hat combined with the bonus week is pretty good experience right now. Like, if you were gonna level battle pets, now is the time. Allen Expeditions or something an intern would program in a couple weeks before I fire them. I don't know about that. I feel like if somebody gave you a couple of weeks to make them from scratch, you'd probably have a hard time. Is that a fish tank on stream? It sure is. He is here. Let's blow him up a little bit. That's my buddy. Oh, he's hiding. Oh, he's shy. There he is. That's my buddy Fleta. He is named after a player, my favorite Overwatch League team. He's a Betta. He's very grumpy and he likes to bite his tail because he wishes he were a crown tail and he likes to stress me out. But he lives in a 5-gallon tank there. You can see he's got his little sponge filter in the back left. Everything has been sanded down, and he enjoys the company of lots of Java moss and one Narite snail, who I would like to find because I'm nervous that he's gotten out. I don't know where that snail's getting out, but he's gotten out twice now, and both times you just rinse him off and he's fine. But I need to check to see if he's, like, inside the coconut or something, because I would like to... I don't know where the snail went. You always want to find the snail pretty quickly, because they can live out of water, actually, for quite some time, Narite specifically. They're intertidal, so they'll actually wash up as part of their normal life cycle, usually. I fully understand it. It has something to do with going between fresh and salt water. But, what am I saying? I'm talking about snails. You don't want it to die out of your tank. It'll smell bad, and then you'll be sad because your snail died, and you're sad. I've never lost a turtle. Those are some big words. I always lose at least, like, that's kind of my goal, is to at least do one where I don't lose any turtles, but I swear, like, it's, you know what it is? It's the crabs. Like, sometimes a crab just spawns almost on top of them, and I'm still finishing taking out a seagull, and it's just not, I don't quite make it, and I lose one of them, and then just the cycle, sometimes the cycle of life is just cruel. At this point, I'm rooting for the seagulls to eat the turtles. I'm sensing a conspiracy, and if I ever get finished with videos that people actually want and have time to make a video that nobody wants, I have a budding conspiracy that there is a systematic persecution of crabs all across Kulturas and Zandalar. There are different documented instances of various species, including us, just being real mean to crabs, and I won't stand for it. Are there no rewards in-game from virtual tickets this year? There will be. They haven't announced them yet. So they're letting you buy the ticket. They haven't, we don't know what the WoW reward will be yet, but you'll still be able to buy the ticket after they announce it, like the virtual ticket. So you may as well, just wait, see what they're going to offer, and then see if you decide that you want it. Saw somewhere there's an Ice Crown Citadel scenario. How they got invincible for the time for the upcoming Lich King X-Pack. I wouldn't be surprised to see. I've always kind of said that they're, like, back when they really, you know, coming off of Warlords, they really, and maybe they had this planned farther out than this, but they seem to really need, Warlords disappointed a lot of people, so they needed to tap into something to help get people back. And, you know, going heavy on Illidan and going heavy on Illidan kind of help people connect with their inner Burning Crusade fanboy. It was just like a lot of Illidan-based Burning Crusade nostalgia, and that kind of connected to, you know, Warlords, where Draenor was obviously the outland. But if they ever have another problem like that, where they just really need to like tap into some established nostalgia base to get people back, they just need to dip back into that Lich King nostalgia a little bit, just like fire up the old helmet, you know. There must always be a Lich King. You always want to find the snail, words to live by. Sometimes the best advice just tells you what to do. Sometimes, you know, you're listening to a podcast and somebody's trying to give you some good advice and it just sounds very vague and you're not sure if you're getting it. And sometimes I just want somebody to tell me what I should be doing instead. They're tasty. Snails are tasty? Hi Hazel from Louisiana, waiting for your 100k sticker shirt and pillow to arrive. Nice. Oh, that was the other thing I ordered, the pillow, because I decided to do the pillows a little bit last minute, so I didn't have a sample of it, and I decided that I did want one. I think it might be cute, like on the couch, or on my actual couch. So I'm excited to get that. I think it might have shipped, actually. I think my pillow might have shipped. Sombra's skin is a thing for virtual ticket. Yeah, that was the first thing, and I think the only thing they've announced so far. I think. Oh, there's all sorts of pets around here. Okay, let's fight some of these. So I already have a forest spiderling, but let's see if there's any backline pets. We have a woodworm. We don't have any coastal scuttlers. I don't want that one though. Inner nostalgia nerd, exactly. You bought both the virtual ticket and the bundle 10 minutes after release each. I have a conspiracy about foxes since Legion, and now BfA. You found them here, and they're pretty creepy. Foxes. He's got a fox conspiracy. What's creepy about foxes, though? I feel like I'm missing something. Crabs are very strong. How strong are crabs? I've never really tried to fight one. I've eaten crabs. And I picked up crabs. Especially like the little tiny ones at the beach. But I've never tried to fight a crab. I didn't think it would be fair. If there's a crab big enough to fight me and win, I don't want to fight it anymore. Are the pillows limited time too? They were, and they're done now. All of the 100k merch is officially in the vault, and by the vault I mean a vault implies it could be opened again. Those are definitely done, which means that they're printing now. Now that the campaign's ended, they'll actually be printing and shipping. But yeah, those were limited too. When they are available, will you be leveling a Kul Tiran, and what class will it be? I am planning on leveling one. I don't know exactly when. I'm not the fastest at catching up. Like, my Lightforged Draenei is still not leveled. She's still level 40 or something. Maybe I should be doing that in the stream instead. But, as far as class for my Kul Tiran, I'm considering a Mistweaver Monk, but I don't know. If they let them be shamans, I would like a Resto Shaman Kul Tiran, Tide Sage style. I think it would be kind of, awful if they didn't let them have that, given the whole Tide Sage mythos going on in BfA. I think that just makes a perfect Resto Shaman, but if they don't let me do that, I'll consider it as a Mistweaver. Another person from Louisiana thought it was just me and the Gators. Can you do a close-up of Cap and Crackers for us? Sure, yeah. Let me finish this battle and we'll do a little zoom in. I need to drink more of this, it's pretty good. He's already level 14. He is going to be level 25. Oh, there he is. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, come back. Oh, there's a fox. Oh, there are foxes here. Huh. There he is. That's the stuff. Oh, you know what we should do? Is we should, get it. I'm just making sure that I'm not blocking with my fish cam. Also, I think I left the fish cam a little big. Floody, you don't need to be that big. I have a hoop. I have a toy hoop. This is what World of Warcraft's all about. The Cloud Ring, yeah. Summon the Cloud Ring for my flying pet to jump through. Why won't you let me do it? Why won't it? You're flying. Requires a flying pet. This is broken. I demand nothing really. I don't need a refund. I would like I would like my parrot to fly through the Cloud Ring, and it won't work, and I'm sad. Oh well. There's a world quest I could do, like I'm already here. Can we kill this dude? Is he hard? He looks hard. He's a rare elite. Should probably try and find a group for that. Greetings from Denmark. Still love your hair. Thank you. You want to pick a fight with a crab? No. I'm just curious about, you know, if it ever happened, if I was ever, like, forced into a situation where I have to do for, like, you know, honor or, you know, life or death. I just want to know what I'm up against. Crabs can kill me. They're strong, or maybe I'm just allergic. Sharing some love. Thank you so much for your TSM4 video. It helped me a lot. Thanks for watching it, Khalifa. So, I'm real glad that it seems to be hitting the spot. I was very worried that it wasn't gonna live up to its legacy of the first one. I'm loving the Kul Tiran druid. I was at first kind of all aboard that train because the Kul Tiran forms look really cool, but we just had that data mined like dark night elf form with the black eyes going on, and that might need to be my druid. Full-blown pirate for a rogue? Maybe. My rogue is a gnome. I'm quite happy with, I mean, it's gonna be a duplicate of something anyway, so it's no big deal doing a duplicate. A full-blown pirate might be fun. 10 old god-sized crabs or 100 crab-sized old gods. I will take the 100 crab-sized old gods, and I will keep them all around my house. And I will put some of them in my purse for taking with you. I will keep some of them in my desk. I'll probably see if they're compatible with fish, see if I can have an old god in with my fish. I bet they would get along. They seem to do fine in the ocean. Cap'n Crackers love beef for the seas. Yeah, he don't want no cloud ring. He's not about that Pandaren stuff. Any guide recommendations for the Celestial Tournament? Checked Wowhead. People were saying strats don't work since the pet changes over the years. Whatever, I would take a look at wow-petguide.com. See what they're listing currently. I did do a whole series of pet guides for the Celestial Tournament. I don't know how up to date they are. I haven't tried them in a while. As far as I know, most of the things that I use haven't been changed too much, but some stuff probably did. Got the Tinder puff. Nice. Next TSM video will be the selling guide. So getting, like, the first one really just kind of brushed the surface of like, the basics to kind of get you started. So the next one is going to go through the meat of selling. So groups and operations, like groups and posting scans, like and price sources and what those mean and which ones you want. Things like where to find groups and operations from other users, what cancel scans are, how to do them, cancel scan settings, that kind of thing. So it'll be kind of a more in-depth auctioning guide to because most of your auctioning is probably not going to be from the quick post window, and we're definitely going to want more groups than just the base group. It's that kind of thing. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, though. It took me like 2 weeks to make the first one, so we're not looking good. Try fighting a coconut crab. Oh, those are those things that you guys have in Australia, right? And they look like giant spiders. I think I've seen those in YouTube videos. Is that it? Those are freaky looking, and they just like come in your house and they get in your shoes. Do you always shake your shoes before you put them on? I do that with my towel now. I found enough spiders on my bath towel that after I get out of the shower, I'm giving it a good shake before I put it on. And I don't even live in Australia. I guess I can do that quest too. Also, I should probably heal my pets. I feel like it's been a while. We've just been running on fumes over there a little bit. So I'm gonna make sure I got my hat on. Maybe there'll be a nice backline pet behind this forest spiderling that I actually need. We're looking for like a rare otter or a crab. Well, there are some crabs, but they're not rare, so we don't want them. We're snobs over here. Have you read the latest fanfiction, Hazel the Pirate Queen? Is that a real thing? Did that actually happen? I love your videos. Oof. What's the oof for? I did see the updated Tiran model, Gia. I am so excited about that. I think it's the fact that I'll be able to like get that for my druid, and oh man, it just that's kind of the direction that I've wanted night elves to go for a long time. I always imagined them as being almost a little more Avatar, like a little more wild and violent and less civilized than they are now. You know, we have blood elves. Those can be like the super civilized ones sipping wine. I wanted night elves to be a little bit more, you know, fierce, and I wanted them to be more fierce, and this is kind of, I think, a step in the right direction. Spiders on towels, nightmare fuel. It's always big ones too. Like, I've never found, and maybe it's because they're small so I wouldn't know, but I've never found a small spider in my towel. It's always like a wolf spider. And as far as I know, they're not dangerous. It's just like, no, you know, you just got out of the shower. You're not wearing anything. You're feeling extra vulnerable, and there's this big spider just being like, sup, can I live here? No. No, you can't. I had a huntsman in my room recently. She kept walking over to my monitor when I sat down at my desk. Oh no. I used to live in Australia, would always check my shoes for lizards or spiders. Lizards! Now are lizards scary? Are we scared of lizards? Are there dangerous? I mean, obviously there must be dangerous lizards in Australia, but like, is it a high enough percentage of them being dangerous that if you find one in your shoe that you're not happy about it? Or is it just like, oh, hey, get out of there, and you just like shake a gecko out of your shoe and move on with your life? What's that like? I am so curious. I've never lived like that. Let's see. How are you finding BfA so far? Love the hair, by the way. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm actually even more excited about 8.1 because there were a couple things I was frustrated with that seem like they're going to get better with time. But I have been specifically really enjoying the raid. It's been so fun raiding with my guild again, and I've been trying to make gold. Like, the thing that I'm most excited for would be getting 5 million gold together to buy myself a Brutosaur mount, and I've been enjoying the roller coaster of ups and downs from attempting to make gold. I did pretty well flipping a couple items, and then I got too excited about it, and I invested too hard, and then the price of BOEs kind of dropped because the raid came out. So now I'm just trying to sell off my existing stock and then sort of assess my damage and see if I made out positive or negative. I think I still did pretty good. I made a profit on most things. I made a big profit on a couple things, and I think when I do sell things, when I have sold a few things at a loss, it was like a very small loss, so I think I'm still doing okay. But once I've like cleared my inventory of BOEs, then I'm gonna sort of assess the market and see if I should get back into that or if I should find a different thing to do. Because while picking herbs has been pretty good, and I do love me a good anchor weed, I think that trying to pick herbs all the way to 5 million is going to be a big ask. I don't want night elves to be more vulgar. I want them to be more feral almost. I want them to be a little bit less civilized, and not in like a spit and swears way, but more in like a, you know, teeth and claws that way. No, just surprising they were little and cute. I live in Hawaii. There are geckos all over the place and sometimes in my shoes. They're cute little boops. They're everywhere, but you don't want to hurt them. Ugh. What's the easiest, not asking for myself, obviously. What's the easiest reptile to keep in terms of food? Like, obviously many reptiles you need to feed them, like live food. You get crickets, you get mealworms, you get roaches, or you get like, for snakes and whatever, you got your frozen mice and whatnot. I'm wondering what like the easiest one is for, you know, somebody that's a little squeamish and a little new. Just curious, you know, I'm not doing it. I got fish, I like fish, but, you know, they're cool. Australian lizards are always trying to sell you car insurance. What data mining? I'm not sure exactly what it is that I said around the time that you typed that, but if I've been talking about data mining, it's mostly been from 8.1. And when I say data mining, just reading what people are pulling up on like the MMO Champion front page and the Wowhead post are the two sources that I use for that. There must be dangerous lizards in Australia. I mean, statistically speaking. As far as I know, you guys have dangerous most things. Lizards here in Florida. I have to rescue little things from the cat. Oh. We used to have, like, we had, I'm trying to remember if they were geckos or salamanders. Back in Canada outside, we had lizards sometimes, like little cute ones, but they were a little bit different than, I think they were salamanders. They were wetter, I think. I don't really remember. There are so many creatures that can potentially kill you that I'd never leave the house. I mean, you know, there's lots of things that can potentially kill you. Cars are a huge one that we really should be more afraid of than we are, given how many people get brutally maimed by them and how everywhere they are. But we're not, you know, we're evolutionarily designed to be afraid of lizards, or not lizards, snakes and spiders, but, you know, we haven't evolved enough generations to be afraid of cars yet. Crested gecko, they eat a paste. Crested geckos. I've seen those. I thought you guys had to. I thought you had to feed those live crickets. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe people just do. Iguanas eat fruit. Newts. Oh, maybe there were newts that I found up in Canada. I'm trying to remember. I wouldn't know. Question: suggestions for equipment with a new betta. Would like to get a betta fish. Unsure where to start. Have curious rescue cats. Would need to have a covered home. So it's definitely a good idea. You would want it covered anyways. Betta fish can jump, and I have lost betta fish to jumping before. The last one that I had as a kid just literally jumped out and died. So you definitely want a lid. I would recommend basically my setup here is kind of a good starting point. 5 gallons, sponge filter. So if anybody's trying to sell you a filter with like cartridges you throw out every month, they're just trying to get an extra $10 out of you every month. You don't need it. But a sponge filter. You want some substrate on the bottom. That could be sand, that could be gravel. Doesn't really matter. Give him something to hide in. So either fake plants or some real plants. But a heater for sure. And a thermometer to keep an eye on the heat. So the important ones are 5 gallons worth of tank, a heater, and a filter. And a thermometer, and a lid. So it's, depending on where you get your stuff, your people I think on YouTube have good videos about, like, starter betta fish setups. But, I should put together an article sometime. Tarantulas make a great pet. Adults can be fed crickets or dubias every 2 weeks or so. I'm pretty far away from feeling like I want a spider. Somebody could maybe one day, if I had the space for it and if I got over my squeamishness of potentially feeding mice, somebody could possibly talk me into a snake, but spiders, snakes are cute, you know. Snakes got the cute boopable snoots. I've never seen a boopable spider. You generally don't want to boop your spiders. I think spiders don't want to be booped. Actually, maybe snakes don't want to be booped. I don't know. I'll have you know I'm terrified of cars. I mean, at least it's fairly rational. J-Red, thank you very much for the super chat. I would read your message, but it's just an adorable little emote, so. Try here in South Africa, lions and stuff. That is true. I never considered that. We had, and I say we had, I never really had any terrible encounters with them, but up in BC, you have lynx. So there were lynx, there were bears. There were definitely bears. The bears weren't a huge threat. They're usually just looking for garbage. You just kind of leave them alone. You didn't see a huge amount of them in civilized areas. It was mostly if you went camping or something. But, thanks for posting your TSM4 guide finally. There will be more too. That's just the first one. It definitely doesn't cover everything. There's more on the way for that. Using TSM right now, and I feel so clever. Thank you so much for your guide. What enchant do you have in your gloves to pick herbs faster? It is called Enchant Gloves Kul Tiran Herbalism. It's great. They're cheap too. They're, let's see, I'm carrying around 3 of them. Region market value average like 100 gold, maybe 100, 115. My server has them for 300 gold, but still super duper worth it. Amazing. Wouldn't live my life without it. Do you like angelfish? I've heard a lot of stories about angelfish being jerks or being very sweet until all of a sudden they start having babies and then they become jerks. I've just heard a lot of stories. I mean, they're cichlids and they're pretty big, so I think they're beautiful. I would love to visit other people's angelfish and look at them, but I would be afraid to own them myself. If I'm gonna do cichlids, I like dwarf cichlids, and I could consider maybe one day doing like a big character cichlid, like a single tank, like one Oscar tank or a flowerhorn tank. But angelfish frighten me. Did you see the new Toronto look? She looks awesome. Yeah, and we're gonna be able to get that look as night elves. Like we're gonna be able to unlock the face thing. I'm really excited about that. William, thanks for the super chat. Having ADHD, your videos really help me with my gaming. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm really glad you're here. Let's see. Hazel, you're the best. My uncle had a snake. His wife made him rehome it once it got big enough to eat their baby. That definitely sounds like a concern. I mean, probably depending on the type of snake, but if you've got a baby around, I can definitely see being nervous. When I was young, I had a scorpion. Again, that's one of those things I probably wouldn't do, but I like watching videos of people that have them just because it's so fascinating to me to see people that are just like so happy with their scorpions and, you know, feeding it and just like having a good time. Oh man, it's my scorpion's birthday. I got him some special crickets to eat. Woo! And it's just such a different world. And it's just so, I love watching videos where people love their pets and are obviously like taking really good care of their animals. I just love watching stuff like that. Any video where someone's just like really enjoying their pets just warms my heart. So even and especially when they're weird pets. Definitely agree with doing research on aquatic plants too. There are so many pitfalls out there, and plants that people will sell to you that are not even supposed to be underwater plants, but they'll try to make you think that they are. My go-tos, one is what I have in there is basically, it's called, let me blow it up again. So these ones here are Java Fern. I like those because they're easy to grow, they grow really fast, they don't need a whole lot of light, they're pretty cheap, and they don't get planted in the substrate. You actually don't want to. People will do that, they'll rot. You want to keep it out of the substrate. So you just take either fishing line or thread or glue and you attach them to rocks or wood or whatever. So they're actually just glued down to the wood and they're glued down to the coconut shell there. And that means that when you're cleaning the tank, you can just take the whole thing out if you want, so you can still get the tank really clean, and you can kind of put them wherever you want them. So Java Fern are great for that. And the other one that is the same kind of thing where you want to have it out of the substrate, Anubias. Also cheap, super available, really hard to kill, grows slower, but still looks great, and same thing, you just tie it or glue it to rocks or wood, and those two have not let me down yet. I could and probably will in my life do quite a few tanks, especially Betta tanks, with nothing but those. They're good. Spiders have paws on their feet, which are pretty boopable. I will take your word for it. So happy you're playing a gnome. I play only gnomes in the Alliance. Thanks for all the great content. Shout out to my gnome brother Kevin. Drinking chai with chocolate bits in it. I have a hard time with chocolate teas. I think I still have yet to find one that I'm excited about. It's not like I hate chocolate. Chocolate's great, but I don't usually want it. Whenever people, hang on, my fish tank is still huge. I forgot about that. Whenever people start trying to put chocolate in places where I don't necessarily think chocolate should be, it just ruins the whole thing for me. Like chocolate bread, chocolate pasta, and chocolate teas are always disappointing to me. Specifically, I had chocolate pasta once. Awful. Hideous. I would so much rather have regular chocolate or regular pasta, or almost even nothing. It was almost that gross that I didn't even want to have it anymore. Okay, we're gonna find another pet, because that's what we originally came out here to do. Although, I'm kind of enjoying just sort of wandering around picking herbs. That's a siren sting, so I do want it. I don't want to fight all of this stuff, but I think I might have to. I've got to go let someone into Mom's condo to catch a mouse. Apparently she has a mouse or mice. Oh no. One thing that's been hard adjusting from New York to Texas, the amount of animals and insects that will attack and harm you. Thanks. Dry Oregon. It's great out here. Nothing's really gonna bug you. You know what I actually really like about out here? And maybe it's because I'm not in a super, super rural area. Like, it's not super wildernessy around here. But people don't really care about mosquitoes out here. Like, you'll get a mosquito bite once in a while, but it's like 2 or 3 of them a year. And you can just go outside in a t-shirt at like dusk, you know, sun's going down, and it's fine. I come from a land where you don't do that. You are either wearing bug spray or long sleeves, because when the sun starts coming down or going up, you are going to get eaten. And I mean eaten. I mean like 30 to 50. Is that an exaggeration? 10 to 20 bug bites all over your body if you go for a walk at the wrong time, if you're not fully covered. And that's just not a problem over here. I was flabbergasted. I did see the capybara model. That was pretty cute. Whew. Leopard geckos are awesome. I was squeamish around the food too, but you get used to it. I think I would have a fairly reasonable tolerance for... The thing that bothers me about the cricket idea is not so much that they're gross, but if they're live, like if I'm feeding live crickets, then you have to keep them alive and you have to feed your food, and also you can hear them. And I really enjoy hearing crickets when I'm like out walking, and you know, the cricket song is, I find, very soothing. So the fact that I would be able to hear that and know that I'm literally feeding that to my lizard would, I think, kind of freak me out. But I've fed my fish a lot of frozen fish food, which I really enjoy giving my fish, like the bloodworms, and we've done blackworms before, and like, you know, the frozen brine shrimp and stuff. Like, some fish food is pretty gross, and that doesn't really bother me at all. Because it's, you know, it's like, you know, you buy it frozen and it's fine. But also, I'm not really worried about worm feelings. I don't really like worms, so I'm okay with feeding them to my fish. What BfA pets would you level to max and use? I don't have a good answer for you on that one yet. I will, hopefully be more familiar with that later on once I have the rest of them, but I'm still so early in my pet collecting. I've gotten pretty behind with that. Do you like a pistogramma? I don't have any. I would like one day, though. I was looking into them when I was learning about the rams, and I think it would be cool to do, like, an Apisto pair tank. Like, just, like, a pair of, Apisto, either a Cockatoides or Agassizii with, like, just, like, 10 or so Ember Tetras. I think in, like a 15-gallon tank or so, that would be just, like, a really nice little planted tank. Just because their behavior looks like it would be so cool to watch. But I definitely don't have any yet. My Neff the Bolivian ram is my first cichlid. I like watching animals get rescued and nursed back to health. I can't handle those ones. Like those videos and like GIFs and imager stories, they always make me cry. I can't with the rescues. Like it's a heartwarming story. It's a good cry, but I'm usually not ready for it. I need to re-enchant my gloves. I've replaced my gloves. I carry around like, I've got 3 of them on me right now. I usually carry at least 3, if not 5 of the enchants just to make sure that I can keep grabbing them as they go. Anyone recommendations for new groups or operations to import if you wanted to redo? So my recommendation for that, and I know you were asking chat, but I'm going to jump in. Start by experimenting in a new profile. So in TSM and settings, you go just in the general here, you can make a new profile. So create a new one and name it something. And that way you can import stuff and you can try things and you can mess with stuff. And then if you hate it, you can still go back. So use one of those as a template so that you can avoid breaking your stuff. And then check the top posts on WoW Economy, r/WoW Economy, because those people are usually very good about sharing very useful and usable strings for stuff like that. That's usually where I get my basic groups and whatnot. Manomies. I always want to own a golden orb spider. They are huge and friendly. I have never heard of that. How is Esperance and BfA in your opinion? I like it. It's different. It's like the polar opposite of what it used to do in Legion. In Legion, we'd had very good single target. We had very, very poor... We had good single target. We had good sustained cleave. We had very poor burst cleave. And they've actually kind of taken the opposite. Like, we've completely flipped it. We have very good burst cleave. We have decent sustained multi-target. We have decent sustained cleave. And then we have very poor single target. It's just been completely flipped. So it's different, but I'm still having fun. I'm still fun. Fun's good. Chocolate pancakes? Absolutely not. Also, I'm about to lose a bunch of friends here. So I don't want chocolate in my pancakes. I don't want pancakes at all. I don't want chocolate in my muffins. I don't want chocolate in my bread. I don't want banana chocolate bread. It's got chocolate and it's got bread. And also, get those bananas out of here. You should have eaten them a while ago. Any banana. I like my bananas almost, obviously raw. Like, I don't cook my bananas, but very underripe. To the point that if it's not a little green still, I don't really want to eat it. By the time it's gotten so ripe that it has actual dark spots on it, I'm not having it anymore. I won't throw it out because my husband will eat them, but and if it's in something, like if somebody made a smoothie with like an overripe banana or, you know, banana bread typically made with overripe bananas, not having it. Something wrong with me. Nilsaurus, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Hazel, for making me find new friends. Did I do that? Did I hope I'm not 100% here. So I just hope that that's a good thing, but thank you. And Nick, thank you for the super chat. Spending my Saturday morning in New Zealand watching your stream playing WoW. Thanks for all the vids. Now to save some turtles. I hope they make it to the water, man. They've got a rough journey ahead of them. Thank you for all your BfA videos. Do you plan on doing a professions video anytime? So there will be a crafting section of the TSM4 series. But that's probably not exactly what you're looking for. That's as close as I'm planning on getting for now. Do you like waffles? Yes. I love waffles. I will always take waffles over pancakes. I love crunchy Belgian waffles. I love soft homemade waffles. My mom's waffle recipe makes like pretty soft fluffy waffles. I love waffles with syrup or whipped cream or fruit, or my grandmother makes a spiced pear butter. Delicious on waffles. I'm already hungry. Oh, a flawless battlestone. Sometimes I forget that you can just get stuff when you do pet battles. Sometimes stuff just happens. So I still have yet to find any rare pets at all, let alone pets that I need. So we're going to try a few more. Someone bought a Wolpertinger from me in the middle of Brewfest. Maybe Brewfest came up and they're like, hey, what do I not have? And then, you know, they're probably pretty cheap right now. Did you see the video of the actor who does Nola and the Turtles? I didn't, actually. I'll have to check that out. You do not like chocolate-infused stuff. So chocolate cake is okay. Chocolate cake is the preferred type of cake. I'm not a big person on cake. I would usually rather have, like, something pastry-based. But if I'm gonna have cake, it may as well be a good, rich, moist chocolate cake. Chocolate pudding is good. Actual chocolate is good. You get, like, some chocolate ganache on something, that's alright. But yeah, like, when you're infusing chocolate into other stuff, that's usually where it's gone too far. Sorry, Hazel, I don't think we can be friends. Understandable. Have a nice day. Do you still like WoW? I'm finding WoW very boring. Thinking of buying a Switch to play Mario Kart? I still like WoW. I am also not a very good test, though, because I've kind of always liked WoW, and I have a very low bar of expectation from it. I feel like it would be very hard for WoW to lose me, just because I always seem to find something to do, and I always seem to enjoy whatever it is that I find to do. I have never been a terribly harsh critic of it. I don't usually try to be. I'm a massive, massive fan girl, and that's just kind of what it is. So I'm pretty easy to please. There have been many times when people were quitting left and right, and I'm still here. Not because I'm, like, better or anything, but just because, I'll still play. I had a great time in Warlords, actually. Not doing Warlords content necessarily, but Warlords was like my PvP glory days. And it was a good time, because there wasn't a whole lot else going on. I like to mush the dark spotted bananas with a fork. Add honey and cinnamon. Looks like baby food, but it's delicious. Now, that actually sounds like it might be alright. Adding honey to most things is usually a good way to make them okay. You know what's good with bananas, though, is you freeze them. And then you use, like, a blender or a food processor to turn the frozen bananas into, like, a cream. And it's like, it's much like ice cream. It is very ice cream-like. What is going on with Goth Tyrande? I think that if you want actual answers as to what's going on with her, I believe that the data mining that is showing up on MMO Champion and Wowhead has more details over exactly what is happening there. And there's going to be, from the sounds of it, a quest line that allows you as a Night Elf character to get that same customization by going through a similar process. So there are answers out there if you're after them. Nubias are cleaner than crickets, but they're roaches. And I know, I'm not saying that that makes them dirtier, I'm saying that that makes them psychologically more upsetting. I don't know anything about them aside from the fact that they sound gross. Do you think reps should be count wide? I do, but I am happy with the bones that they are throwing us. I will trust their judgment if they think it's really better to not make them account wide. The thing that was mostly holding me up was my inability to do my meta achievement, so this seems like a good compromise for me. I'll take it. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it'll work. Chai tea is the best? This is a really good one. It should be waking me up. It's not happening much. Oh, man. The turtles did make it to the water. I played WoW for over 10 years. Now I'm getting annoyed each 10 minutes. If you're getting annoyed and you're not having fun, then take a break. Take a break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. It's not going to make you, like, less of a, anything, really. If you're not enjoying it, then take a break and then come back if it sounds like it's going to interest you later, or... Oh, look at that. Oh, I've seen that happen before. The giant millipedes in this forest. Crazy. Super crazy. Alright, well, I don't need any pets from that one. We're not having any... I'm just trying to find, like, a rare crab or something. That might be nice. I took a break, but never quit. Been playing since 06. Gonna try the banana thing. What's the rep compromise? So they're not making reps account wide, but they are making it so that the item level upgrades you get from Champions of Azeroth or Revered, those will be account wide. So if you've done Champions of Azeroth or Revered on one character on your future alts, and mind you, this is in 8.1, will have access to those upgrades right away. And they're also making it so that reps that you've completed on other characters will count towards rep meta achievements such as the Beloved, and like the Pure Heart Courser, the 50, 70, 100 reps completed. Those will count account wide, basically. So people like me that have been continually switching mains will, people like me who've been switching mains will have a chance to actually catch up on those reps. Getting ready to watch the ball guide. Is he a good fighter? So I didn't actually make a ball guide. And I don't have one yet. So I don't know. Sad that my friends want to play Alliance and I want to play Horde. Me being the good friend I am, went Alliance. There's, you can always have, I mean, you can always have a Horde ult, and you can always know on your inside that that's who you are in your heart. And that way you can play both sides of the story and get the rest of the content. Yeah, pretend you're a double agent in your mind. Slow in chat responses. My bad. I feel like I'm caught up though. I feel like there's nothing else. Unless like I've had my chat crash before where it's not giving me new messages, so maybe that's it, but I feel like we're good. That's pretty good. We're not getting super far. I would like to catch at least one pet. I would like to make at least one. I'm crocheting while you do battle pets. I search your channel for it. I guess it's searched outside your channel. I'm sure, like, there definitely must be some good ones out there. I am so slow to that party that I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna catch up. I should at least try. Man, I need a river otter, but I don't want a green one. I want to find the blue one. Otherwise, I mean, I could just take it up. I have a bank full of upgrade stones. This is a little bit of a non-issue. Are you going to cover the new Nomergon pet battle dungeon? Yes, I will be doing that. Even if it has to come out before the pet tamer guides, because I'm just not done with those yet. I will be doing the pet dungeon guide as early as I can do it. Because we have guides for every pet dungeon so far, and I'd like to keep it that way. Hazel's keeping up very well. Tracy and Guide Dog Fig here. How are you today? I am doing all right today. I am a little bit out of breath, and just because I'm a little bit under the weather. I don't know quite what I've got, but I feel like I might be coming down with something, and I feel like I might actually, I really do want to find a rare pet, but I might actually dip on you guys early, just because I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay awake. Where are all the rare worms at? Where is it all at? Pet battles? Is there a way to pay for super chat with PayPal? I'm actually not sure. I will do world quests and farm gold. Send help. The Alliance have kidnapped me like Zarfang. I mean, did we kidnap him? Is it still called kidnapping? I feel like kidnapping implies more of an abduction. I feel like it's more of a prisoner of war. You must woo the otter with a fanciful smooth river rock. Someday I check my list of faves that are green, set it to replace them with blues. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I guess I really should pick up, you know, just for the sake of the safari achievement, start picking up some subpar ones, and then I can replace them later. It's just like right now I have a beautiful record of all of my current pets are all rare. And aside from this one that I'm leveling right now, they're all 25 too. Oh no, I didn't level Knuckle Bump yet. I haven't leveled Knuckle Bump. He didn't drop for me, but he dropped for my husband and he gave him to me as a present. He's a very nice guy. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Surfing's on vacation. Reading Elegy. If you haven't, it has more info on Tiran's thought and struggles. I have not read it yet. Not yet. You don't actually need to read is I need to read the thing that came in the collector's edition. A little behind on that. Finally downloaded TSM thanks to your guide. I'm already loving it. I'm actually quite happy with it. I was really frustrated for the last couple of weeks because I could not fix my mailing. I was positive that because there were so many bugs when TSM4 came out, I was sure that my mailing was just broken, and I couldn't believe that it wouldn't work at all. And then I found out that it was just using the wrong operation. Like, something about the base operation. Like, I must have added a mailing operation to the base one, and that was overriding the operations that I used to have set up. So, it was working fine, I just had it set up incorrectly. And after I fixed that, I felt a lot better about it. My troll druid is just sitting in Zaltazar being forgotten. Oh no. I've been marathon watching Walking Dead. Anybody who's sick in any way is infected with zombie. I really hope that I'm not. I would not last long in the zombie apocalypse. Like, I've seen most seasons of The Walking Dead. I stopped a few ago, so I'm not caught up. But whenever I watch zombie-related media, I'm always like, I don't want any part of this. I would want to be like the first person to go because it doesn't look like anything's getting any better. And even if it is, you are horribly traumatized and you have some problems to work through. It probably smells hideous. You've got rotting people everywhere. They're actually chasing after you. The smell is like, I once had a walk to school and there was a deer that had died on the side of the road. It was like a roadkill deer. And somebody had pushed it into the ditch to get it off the road. So there was just this full deer decomposing in the ditch right alongside my walk to work, or to school, rather. And I walked to school every day because I go to school every day. And it took probably about half a year to fully become a skeleton. And for most of that time, it smelled so horrendous. It smelled like such vomit-inducing death that I would cross the road and that still wouldn't be enough. I would have to like cross the road, hold my breath, and walk quickly to try and get past it, and you still couldn't avoid it. It was permeating. And I feel like the zombie apocalypse is just like that all the time, and I don't want any of that. I would rather not be there anymore. Just go to the attic. Thanks for posting the TSM guide. Download it again so I can learn it properly. You're not missing much. The new season looking promising. I always figure... that's not true. I was going to say, I figure I would just catch up with the comics, but I have the first couple volumes of the comics and I enjoy this a lot, but comics are just so expensive to keep up with that I'm not really worried about it. Waiting for season 9. You reckon Sorfang will help the Alliance? I doubt it, no. I think they're setting him up as a Horde figurehead after whatever happens with Sylvanas goes down. I'm assuming something happens there just based on what we've already had. But I would imagine that he's probably not. He's Horde, you know? He was the old Horde soldier. He's not for the Alliance. He's just not for Sylvanas either. There's a difference. I feel that one big time. I worked at a deer processing plant. A deer processing plant? I didn't realize people process deer. But yeah. For a while, I actually didn't like riding around on the undead mounts because the undead horse head reminded me too much of the rotting skull of the deer that I walked past. Before it started to smell, like in the winter when it froze, it wasn't so bad. It was actually kind of interesting to see it decompose in a weird, like, sciencey way, but the smell just ruins the whole thing. Extra cash tip, potion of herb tracking. 100,000 something. Well, thanks for the super chat, Robert. Potion of herb tracking. I feel like I'm missing something. Are you giving me a tip that there is a thing called a potion of herb tracking that I'm supposed to get? Because we can already track herbs. We don't need a potion for it. I'm very confused. I appreciate the super chat. I'm just hoping that I'm not missing the point. Hi Hazel, I love your videos. I've gotten very into caring for the fish in the tank at work because of you. That is awesome. Those fish will appreciate it. Not in like a direct way because they're fish, but they will definitely appreciate the healthfulness. And watching fish thrive is just my favorite. It's always stressful when they're not doing well, but when they are doing well and they're just like eating and wiggling and doing their thing, it's just so satisfying. No undead horse. My troll needs to help more turtles get to the water. Oh man, I would like to take a crab from the water and have it be a good one so that I can keep it. Got anything going on down here? I think there's a bunch of crabs that are actually like on the shore. So if we get right through here, there should be some. Let's try at least a few more. Let's try a couple. And oh no, that's a rat in the roof. Can't get that one. Yeah, there's crabs everywhere here. I mean, we got scallops. Any one of these could be rare. I guess I could just like repeatedly engage all of them one by one and try to find rares that way. Like that would be faster. Oh, actually, I finished. Oh no, I'm not finished leveling Captain Crackers yet. Actually, Captain Crackers needs a couple more. Let's try this one. It's a follower equipment that makes him return. Oh, that's right. Follower equipment makes them return with herbs from missions. They're expensive though, aren't they? Don't they cost a lot to craft? I thought they were expensive. I would prefer piranhas as fish. I've seen people with piranhas. They're not like, I mean, they're interesting, but they've got their faces look kind of stubby. They got like stubby little faces. You know what I was actually wanting at one point though were Serpay tetras. They have a reputation for being kind of nippy, but they just had really cool colors, and they were one of those taller body tetras. I thought that'd be cool to have one day, but some areas have rendering trucks that come pick up all the dead animals along the side of the road. It sounds like a dirty job, but as somebody that was walking by a decomposing animal, it seems like a good service to have. It seems like something that's probably good for the community to not leave those to just rot in the ditch. I've seen in previous videos. I don't talk about that anywhere. They should really rework the cooking profession. What is it that you don't like about the cooking? I think it's actually been done pretty well this time. Do you want, I'm curious about what you want about it. What you want changed about it. What add-on are you using? I have a video that I've done fairly recently that covers all of my add-ons. It should be top of my add-on playlist. I have a playlist that has all my add-on related videos, and it should be right at the top of that. Oh, it's cheaper now? Oh, I could get on board with that then. Although, honestly, I don't really send out missions. I send out missions for pet charms, and that's kind of it. That's kind of 100% of what I do. Okay, so Cracker's level 24. We'll get him one more level. I will fight these scuttlers to get him one more, which is probably just gonna be one more battle. Let's give it another go. And then I probably will dip a bit early because I'm just not feeling quite up to scratch. So let's try. Maybe there'll be a rare crab behind here. Darn it, not quite. Oh well. Let's get Captain Cracker's last level at least. I wish there was a Sphinx cat, pet cat, one of the skinless cats. You know, like in the game. I think the thing that they would have to do if they were making a Sphinx cat in the game is not make it just look like a giant, like a mole rat, because we have you know, prairie dogs and the like, and animal sizes get pretty mixed up in WoW. You know, we've got spiders the size of people. It's all pretty interchangeable. So the fact that they're kind of the same size as cats. So a naked cat wouldn't look that different from a prairie dog. Obviously it would look different. I'm sure they could make a really cool model from it, but you'd really want to make sure that you made that distinction. I'm going to start a petition to remove anchorweed from the game, but it's my favorite. Oscars are cool. They sell for a lot when they're fully grown. $800. I mean, maybe like a really fancy one. I see pretty much every time I go to a fish store, there's usually at least a couple of adult Oscars there for adoption. They're always like $20. They're not fancy Oscars or anything, but a lot of people will get them and they need to be rehomed because people don't realize how big they'll get when they get them. And so they bring them back to the store and then somebody has to try and find a home for it. Battle Pets add-on from the video guide. I've set up so many teams now. Yeah, rematch is amazing. Do you ever take Joker to a dog park? How does he handle it? So we used to take him all the time. Oh, I need to not let Captain Crackers die. Oh no. Oops, my bad. Yeah, we used to take him all the time, and he does pretty good. He plays with the bigger dogs great. He's not actually nervous around other dogs at all, but the thing is, he's kind of a bully. He's not like super violent or aggressive, and he's not really trying to hurt anybody, but if there is a puppy or a dog that's smaller than him, but mostly a puppy, that he kind of senses that he can push around, he's gonna knock it over and he's gonna try and chew on it. And puppies don't know what to do because they're puppies. And puppy owners, you know, they just got this puppy, they don't want dogs chewing on it, very understandably. It's just this whole situation where you have to like keep a super close eye on him and try to keep him away from puppies because he'll just bully them. Which, you know, it's silly because, you know, like, look, like, dude, you're barely bigger. That puppy's gonna kick your butt in like 6 months. But yeah, we don't take him much anymore because it's just, he's gotten worse about it. He didn't used to do that at all, but as he's gotten older, he hates puppies more and more every year. A hairless cat would be pro. I've never met a hairless cat in real life. I'm interested to know if I would find it cute or if it would be hard to get over the hairlessness of it. Because, like, I love my regular cat that has hair a lot. And that's the easiest thing in the world, but I feel like it would be different when it gets hairless. I don't know. A baby, pudgy, elusive nightmare pet with big eyes. Goodness. What to spend pet charms on first? I don't know yet off the top of my head if any of the pets are like incredibly useful. I'm going for the pocket portal. I'm going for the portal-y expansion pretty early. How many battle pets have you gotten? None. I haven't found a single rare one. I'm sad. I don't like I wouldn't say I don't like TD script. I don't use TD script. I don't really see a need for it with what I do. And it kind of, yeah, I don't really use TD script. How much time do you have to invest on YouTube? You seem pretty tired in most streams. Thanks for existing. I mean, YouTube is a thing where it's kind of like, you don't have to do anything, you know? There's nobody standing behind your shoulder unless you consider comments, which, unless you consider comments to be telling you to do stuff. But for the most part, you don't have a boss. You don't have you're not on a schedule unless you make one for yourself. You don't have anybody that's gonna, like, do anything if you don't do stuff. So you've completely set your own schedule, but what that does is that puts everything you do on your own conscience. So if you work really hard, you do really well, you get to feel extra good about that because that was 100% you. And on the flip side, if you take breaks or if you sleep at night, you know that you had a chance to do something and you chose not to. So it's a lot of people handle it, like, some people will handle it in a healthier way than others. Some people go really hard and they handle it in a very unhealthy way and then they burn out. It's all about, I think, trying to find a balance. But I would say that I don't think anybody should have to or really needs to invest more time than your regular full-time job in YouTube. And that's probably on average about the amount that I invest. It's just my hours end up being weird. Today is just because I'm a little bit sick. I think I'm actually going to give up for today. I think I'm going to go take it. Oh, can I take a nap? The people haven't come by yet. I might just go fall over my couch for a bit. We almost made it. But I will be back on Tuesday with a regular Mount Run live stream. I did put out a vlog earlier today, so that is out to be seen. Thank you guys very much for coming to the stream and watching and for being understanding of our early... what's the word for ending it? I want to say cessation, but that's too fancy. There's a shorter one. Doesn't matter. I appreciate you all, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.